Hennythemoor reporting live from the liquor store, man. How's everybody doing today? And hey, this is not usually the time that I do a solo show. We are planning to have Cowboys Uncut in this afternoon, this evening at 6:30, so the landlord can get off. Had a schedule change, so we're gonna open the doors to the liquor store for a little bit on this lunch hour, man. And we're gonna talk about the real and the fake. There's gonna be a whole bunch of lies, propaganda, and slander surrounding the Dallas Cowboys the entirety of the offseason. So I just want to put y'all up on game, tell y'all what is really going on, and we're gonna have ourselves a good time in the liquor store, man. So before we get too far into this, man, I need y'all to hit that like button. Right? Hit that like button for your boy Hennythemoor inside the liquor store. Because first and foremost, the more likes that we get on these videos, the more that these platforms will promote the content. So you want the liquor store to continue to strive and do great things over here, man, hit that like button. It goes a long way in helping your independent content creators out, man. After you hit that like button, y'all know that we do practice manifestation inside of the liquor store. So make sure that y'all drop 6 emojis and y'all share the content 6 times. We're trying to manifest that 6th title for the Dallas Cowboys. I know we did not manifest hard enough this season because we saw the results. It did not work out for us. So let's go ahead and get an early jump on this upcoming season, man. Let's go ahead and get an early jump on this upcoming season. So share the content 6 times, drop 6 emojis so we can manifest the 6th title for the Dallas Cowboys in the 2024 regular season, man. And hey, shout out to everybody in the chat box, man. 434 Cowboy in the building, what's up with you? Jackie Smith in the building, what's up with you? Miss Regina Green with the green in the building, what's up with you? Thank y'all for sliding over and showing love to the content, man. I appreciate y'all for rocking with your boy. So y'all done hit that like button, y'all done hit that share button. The next thing I need y'all to do, man, is to slap the dog shit out of an Eagles fan, man. And if you're able to find one, because listen, they've been in hiding. They've been in hiding and on the internet. I have not seen an Eagles fan in person in a very long time at this point. But if you're able to track one down in their den, in their little nest, whatever they eat, and you slap the shit out their mouth, because you know they eat shit. They probably got a fresh piece of horse shit in their mouth right now. So if you're able to slap them up, I will be able to give you half off on all the merchandise inside the liquor store. And you know, we got exactly what you need to succeed over here, man. We got Cowboys, we got gin, we got hen, and everything else under the sun that can make you sin. So tap in with your boy, Hennythemoor, and come get drunk in the liquor store. Let me see. Cortavius, what's up with you, man? Thank you for tapping in and showing love to the content, man. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump into it. So we all heard the Jerry Jones comments from yesterday, right? If you are not familiar with what was said, I'm gonna go ahead and show it to y'all again so we can have that dialogue. You heard it from us all together, but you know, I don't think y'all fully understood my individual thoughts when we chopped it up this last time. So let me start there. We're gonna start with the Jerry Jones comments. And really, I want to start with the one about him being non-committal to Dak Prescott. Right. So if y'all were under a rock, because I know they already did shows on this on ESPN and some more stuff. So you ain't seen it yet, you're gonna see it eventually. But you know, this is one of those old Jerry Jones, smear campaigns. What's up with you, Mr. Cowboy Nation? How you living? He said Jerry refused to commit signing Dak Prescott to an extension because the team is taking a holistic approach to the offseason, but offered this confusing ditty. Dak has done nothing to change my mind about any promise for the future. I think I've said that we will go as far as Dak takes us in the playoffs. Remember that we will go as far as Dak takes us, and that is how far we went. That doesn't change a thing. We'll go as far as Dak takes us. Ends the quote. Right? Now, there were some folks that agreed with me. There were some folks that disagreed with me. In my opinion, what I got from hearing that is the same pattern of slander and dodging accountability that Jerry Jones has done every time the Dallas Cowboys have A, had shortcomings in the postseason, or B, when there is no leverage within these contract negotiations Jerry Jones attempts to go out there and create leverage out of thin air, right? The Dallas Cowboys are known to try and negotiate through the media. Jerry Jones talks a lot. Stephen Jones says some certain things. People that are attached to the organization says certain things. 9 times out of 10, a lot of the things that they say and contribute as fact are not true, right? So he said that the Dallas Cowboys would go as far as Dak Prescott was able to take them, right? Well, we only went to the divisional round. We won a division. We won 12 games, but the standard, right? They always say the standard in Dallas is to win a Super Bowl. So by saying that, part of him is also saying that the Dallas Cowboys are one and done because of Dak Prescott. But in reality, when you look at the obvious holes on the Dallas Cowboys roster in the way that it is currently constructed, the Dallas Cowboys have not been able to consistently or efficiently run the football, and B, they have not been able to stop the run. So when teams are able to make you one-dimensional offensively and are able to run the football at will on you on the other side of the ball, it is very hard to win playoff games. I keep saying this over and over again. When you take a look at the 4 teams that actually made it to the championship round, the Detroit Lions had a great run game. Jahmyr Gibbs made a Pro Bowl selection. Montgomery was a 1,000-yard rusher, right? They were able to run the football. One of the best run-stopping teams in the National Football League. They went to an NFC championship game. The San Francisco 49ers got an all-pro running back in Christian McCaffrey, right? They got one of the best defensive lines in the National Football League. Great linebacking core with Fred Warner and Greenlaw. They are able to stop the run. Then you turn around, you look at the Kansas City Chiefs, a very good run-stopping unit. You look at the Ravens, a very good run-stopping unit. Both have linebackers. Both have good defensive tackle play. Both those teams can run the football, right? Pacheco can run the football. He's been utilized a lot in the postseason. And then you take a look at the other side of the ball for the Ravens. They were a team that led with the run the majority of the season. So all the teams that went further than the Dallas Cowboys at least got to the championship round, I should say. They were able to run the football, stop the run, and they were able to do that at a high level in postseason play. When you look at the current construction of the Dallas Cowboys roster, right, they have not been able to do that. Tony Pollard took a step back in his productivity, probably due to the leg injury coming back too early. Rico Dowd was an undrafted free agent with an injury history of his own. He stayed on the injury report with an ankle injury for 2 months. Then you take a look at Deuce Vaughn. While he probably does have some kind of talent, he's 5'5". So a 5'5", late round pick running back, an injured Tony Pollard, taking up more of a workload than he was previous seasons, and Rico Dowd, undrafted free agent, who also had injury histories. And that's not even discussing our inability to get a good run blocking scheme going. The scheme had its issues. Tyler Biadasz had his issues. Terrence Steele had his issues. So there was suspect offensive line play, suspect running back talent on the roster. And we all know the inability of us to stop the run since Dan Quinn has been here, right? That's one of my knocks. Dan Quinn does not match personnel. We do not have adequate linebackers with adequate size. So those are the things constructionally that held you back in the postseason. So Jerry Jones, where is your culpability in all this? Because last time I checked and I put on my glasses and I looked at your bio and I looked at your job description says general manager, meaning Jerry Jones, you were the one that put this team together. You construct this team. So it's very disingenuous, in my opinion, to know that the Dallas Cowboys have an inability to run the football, have an inability to stop the run, had some issues along the offensive line. It's disingenuous to sit here and say that Dak Prescott is going to take us as far as he can as we go. As far as we go is how far Dak Prescott takes us. That's not really the case in the postseason. Because let me ask you a question. Patrick Mahomes is the baby GOAT, right? Probably the best quarterback I've seen recently, right? Outside of Tom Brady. It's Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes that we've seen in the last 10 years or so, right? Patrick Mahomes did not score a single point in the second half of that game. His team was held to 17 points, and his defense still came through for them, and they were able to win that game. That run game came through for them. They were able to eat up the clock and win time of possession. So we seen that side of it. We saw Brock Purdy and the San Francisco 49ers get down 3 possessions. They were down 17 points. It was a 24-7 game going into halftime. Brock Purdy had turned the ball over, led the points. He was not playing well, but they handed the ball off to Christian McCaffrey. They got back in the game. The defense held the Detroit Lions to only 3 points in the second half, and they were able to pull off a miraculous comeback. Like, the Dallas Cowboys are not able to do those things. If we were to ask this current iteration of the defense to shut out Patrick Mahomes for an entire quarter, I don't believe they could do it. If we were to ask this current variation of this defense to hold a team to 3 points in a half after not getting out to a great start, I don't believe they could do it. Because over the course of the season, the numbers says they have not been able to do so. This is a defense that's given up almost 29 points per game to teams with winning records. So let's keep it real. Like, I think Dak Prescott does deserve some blame, but also Jerry Jones. You cannot get on air and say the Dallas Cowboys will go only as far as Dak Prescott can take us, because I just watched a video in regards to the Dallas Cowboys' second Super Bowl win over the Buffalo Bills, and Jimmy Johnson was talking like they were down at halftime, 13-6. Troy Aikman wasn't playing good football, but they came back out at halftime, and he said they came out with a concerted effort to give Emmitt Smith the ball because he knew at that point in time that Troy didn't have it that day. This is the Super Bowl. All the marbles, up for grabs. And Troy Aikman was having a bad day at the office. Did they depend on Troy Aikman to get them over the hump, or did they turn around and hand the football off and got themselves back in the game and end up winning that game in blowout fashion because they ran the football? Right? Sometimes things are going to happen, and your quarterback is not going to play good football. It is what it is. Sometimes your quarterback is going to be missing throws and missing reads and be hesitant. The game might be moving too fast for him. Sometimes your wide receiver is going to drop passes. Sometimes things are going to happen. Things are not always going to be perfect when you're talking about playoff nasty ass football. But one thing that you must be able to do is win games when one player is not playing well. Like, I do not need my season to end because Dak Prescott is having a bad half of football or a bad quarter of football or a bad game. Right? I need to be able to stay in games until Dak Prescott can figure it out. And when you look at the way that this team has been constructed these last several years, the Dallas Cowboys running back room has given you nothing in the postseason. 2018 against the Los Angeles Rams, did the run game show up? No. The run game did not show up when we lost in the division round to the Los Angeles Rams. They did not. Matter of fact, let me pull that up. Rams Cowboys playoffs. Right? Let's take a look. When you talk about what these players did, Ezekiel Elliott, love Zeke, but Zeke only gave you 47 yards on 20 carries. Dak Prescott was your second leading rusher, 2 carries for 3 yards. So the run game that day only gave you 50 yards on 22 carries, and that's if you include a little 3 yards that Dak Prescott gave you. When you talk about what Dak did in that game, he was 20 of 32, 266 yards, no turnovers, a touchdown pass, and a touchdown run. So in theory, Dak Prescott played well enough to win that particular football game against the Rams, but the run game did not show up. The run defense damn sure didn't show up. Numhan Neil, what's up with you, man? My boy in the building with us, man. He said, what up, Hen? Slapped the piss out of 41 Eagles fans before stopping in. You're doing the Lord's work, man. Thank you for the love and rocking with us, man. So if one thing is not working, we have nothing to fall back on. Exactly, Willie T. And that's the issue. The Dallas Cowboys get into the postseason and they have only one plan of attack. Right? You have only one plan for winning a football game. It's either Dak Prescott and the receivers or bust. That's what it's been. Right? And that's only really worked one game. That's worked one game. That was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers game. Because take a look at what your running backs have given you in the postseason. So Zeke only gave you 47 yards on 20 carries in 2018 in that game. But remember, when Zeke played against the Seattle Seahawks, he went crazy, had over 100 yards. We ended up winning that game, right? So actually, if you go ahead and break it down over the course of the Dak Prescott era, when the running back room gives the Dallas Cowboys 100 yards or more, the Dallas Cowboys are 2-1 in those postseason games. When the Dallas Cowboys running backs combine for under 100 rushing yards, Dallas Cowboys are 0-4. So we got a 7-game sample size in the Dak Prescott era. He has a winning record when the running back room gives him 100 yards on the ground. That means that you don't have to put the ball in Dak Prescott's hand every play. You can get first downs on the ground. You can get scores on the ground. You don't have to be overtly aggressive trying to throw the ball in the air that will lead to more turnover-worthy plays or batted passes or things along those lines. So I know it's surface level, but we all seen that the run game has been non-existent within these playoff games. We did not get anything from the run game this playoff game. Tony Pollard averaged under 4 yards a carry. Dak Prescott, yet again, was your second leading rusher in this game. He ran the ball. The sad part about it, Dak Prescott was actually your most efficient runner of the football in the Green Bay game. A lot of folks don't actually realize that. I know they're mad about getting upset by a 7 seed. But if you take a look at the Dallas Cowboys Green Bay Packers game, and you just pull up the stats, Tony Pollard, 15 carries for 56 yards. That's under 4 yards a carry. But Dak Prescott, right, doing a little bit of everything for the team. His numbers were, hold on, let me get it pulled up again. 6 rushes for 45 yards, 7.5 yards per carry. Now, a lot of that came on that one big run to start the first drive. But the Dallas Cowboys run game has no call, no show way more often than the Dallas Cowboys offense. Right? Because even in this game, eventually the Dallas Cowboys passing game put some stuff together. I know that the game was partially out of reach at that time, but there was more things at play than just Dak Prescott not showing up. And then we also have to ask the question. Right, the narrative is Dak Prescott does not show up in the postseason. The narrative should be why. We always talk about the end result. Why did we play bad in these postseason games that we're talking about? What's up with your action, pal? I see you. Iceberg Slim, what's up with you? Why did we play bad? Go back and look at the 2021 playoff game against the San Francisco 49ers. Did Dak Prescott play well? Not necessarily. But what was the reason why Dak Prescott did not play well? Well, for one, the Dallas Cowboys offensive line allowed 20 pressures. You remember that. He was under constant duress the entirety of that game. The Dallas Cowboys offensive line allowed 20 pressures and 5 sacks against that San Francisco 49er front. Right? We also know that the offense was one-dimensional. The Dallas Cowboys had no run game to help stabilize the offense. It was still all on the shoulders of Dak Prescott, Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, and the pass catchers. If you go back to that game, right? Let's pull up the stats. Let's pull up the stats for that game. just loaded in. Hold on 1 second. Here we go. All right. So again, one-dimensional offense. Ezekiel Elliott, 12 carries for 31 yards. Right? So again, you had no semblance of a run game. He said Seahawks just signed Baltimore defensive coordinator McDonald. Well, that means that 9 times out of 10, Dan Quinn will be back. There's still a good possibility of him getting the job for the Washington Commanders because they said that he interviewed very well with them. So we'll see. But that is one coaching job down. And, you know, the more coaching jobs that leave, you know, it's more of a reality that Dan Quinn will be the defensive coordinator for the Dallas Cowboys in the 2024 season. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. So we can't be afraid of using other players in run game if the main guy is not getting it done. But that's the thing. Not only is the main guy not getting it done, nobody is getting it done in the run game for the Dallas Cowboys, unfortunately. I mean, unfortunately. Let's take a look at this. All right, so we were talking about the 2021 season when we played the 49ers at home and lost. Well, if you take a look at this, Dallas Cowboys, Ezekiel Elliott, 12 carries for 31 yards. Dak Prescott, 4 carries for 27 yards. So again, he was your second leading rusher. He was also the only player on the team to have a rushing touchdown. Tony Pollard, 4 carries for 14 yards. So your running backs, Zeke gave you 31, Tony Pollard gave you 14. You ended up with 45 yards from your running back room. Only 45 yards from your running back room in a playoff game. And you're wondering why. And you're wondering what's going on. You said Ron Rivera interviewed with us for the defensive coordinator job. Ooh, okay. Hold on now. Shit getting spicy out here. Let me see if I can find it. Says Seahawks hiring Mike McDonald says a lot about DQ. His last game he put on tape killed some opportunities. I believe so. I mean, listen, you can't give up the best quarterback, the most efficient quarterback. Hold on, is Dan Quinn? Is it official for Dan Quinn? Hold on now, I think something. Hold that thought, man. Hello? All right, hold that thought, man. I got you. It said Ron Rivera is a top 10 DC. Yeah, man, I don't know about all that. Ron Rivera, I got to take a look at his track record for these last games that he had. I got to take a look at these last opportunities that he had as a play caller, because I don't know. Because listen, he's supposed to be a defensive guy, and we've put up numbers against his team every time that we played them. So, you know, I get it. Reputation would say that he's a good defensive coach, but you know, say according to Michael Gelkin. Hold on now. His defense, not Washington. I like to give source references when giving info. Okay, yeah. That's not a problem. And I do appreciate y'all for doing that, by the way. You know, that makes it easier. That makes it easier. So yeah, man. That's one thing that I will touch on real quick though. If Dan Quinn comes back, you could do worse at defensive coordinator, but Dan Quinn has to be better in stopping the run. Like he has to invest in the linebacker position. He has to be more willing to match personnel. There's a litany of things that Dan Quinn has to do in order to stay in Dallas, and for me to be happy with that move. You know what I mean? Like, he's shown me time in and time out that he can, let's see. He said he has to get a linebacker coach. Yeah, I agree with that too. I agree with that too. Linebacker coach. You actually need linebackers for him to coach as well, though, right? Let's not forget that little tidbit. You got one traditional healthy linebacker on the team, because the status of Leighton Van Der Esch's future is in the air. Damone Clark did not play up to par, and also, we all know that Marquise Bell is not really a linebacker. He put on a little bit of weight, moved from the safety room to the linebacker room, and he's did the best that he could. But we're talking about actual linebackers. It's really Damone Clark and DeMarvion Overshown. I'm not counting Leighton Van Der Esch until I get a yay or nay on his future. So, yes, a linebacker coach goes a long way in helping with the development of the guys you have on the team, but you also need more linebackers in the building. He said, "Give me Belichick as a coordinator, but I don't think he'll take it." Man, it's a very strange situation the Dallas Cowboys find themselves in right now, man. Shit, do you think all the stuff going around in the nation, Dan will put that into consideration during his drive? I hope so. I say to try to bring in Bill for DC. If Mike mess up, just give Bill the head coaching job. I don't know how that would gel. I don't know how that would gel, having the best, the most accomplished coach in National Football League history on your roster, on your coaching staff, and not looking over your shoulder. So, like, if you're going to get rid of Mike McCarthy, just get rid of him. Don't have him making crazy moves and crazy mistakes, just because he's concerned about his job. If you were going to ask Mike McCarthy, you should have just did it. You know what I mean? Said, we don't want Riverboat Run. Why not Mike Vrabel? I don't know if a lot of these guys want the Dallas Cowboys. You know what I mean? Like, I talked about this last night when I did the show with EJ Savage over there with Boys on the Zone. The Dallas Cowboys always end up with older coaches and guys who are on their second and third and fourth chance in the NFL, because nobody wants to come and deal with the Dallas Cowboys organization like that. Jerry Jones is the general manager. Like, he's always interfering with stuff. He's always inputting his will into things. He acquires players that the offensive coordinator and the head coach don't necessarily want. He did it with Terrell Owens and Bill Parcells. He did it with Trey Lance and Mike McCarthy. He didn't even ask Mike McCarthy if he wanted Trey Lance on the team. Like, he just did it. So I don't think a young, up-and-coming, bright mind offensive coordinator or a young, up-and-coming, innovative defensive coordinator wants to come to Dallas and deal with Jerry Jones and the politics. I don't necessarily, like, it's not really a dynamic that's happens anywhere else. It's not really a dynamic that happens anywhere else in the National Football League, where your general manager, publicly castrates the head coach and the coaching staff at every turn. Right? Look at Mike McCarthy. Like, Mike McCarthy took a job and it already had an offensive coordinator in place. So that shows you the Dallas Cowboys will interject in your hires. So who wants to come and deal with it? It's not really an attractive destination from a coaching standpoint. From a coaching standpoint, who wants to come here if they're trying to make a name for themselves and do the things that they want to do? Now, if you're one of the people that the Joneses have been grooming, you might get a chance that way. If you got a super young guy on the staff and they get in favor with the front office and, they like him a lot, they might give him the express track to getting promoted to offensive coordinator and getting a head coach position here with the Dallas Cowboys. But an outsider coming in here with no ties to the Joneses, that shit's not gonna work. So Mike McDaniels is the new Ravens head. Yeah, he's the head coach for the Seattle Seahawks. Ravens defensive coordinator. So yeah. So that's what's up though, man. Listen, there are, like I said, and I'll repeat again, Dan Quinn is not the worst defensive coordinator in the world. Right? He's not. But the issues that he has are very jarring in the postseason. In the postseason, teams run the ball more, and you're expected to stop the run. Score, and he just can't do it. It might be the packages he used. It might be the personnel that he favors, but he has not been able to stop the run since he's been here in Dallas. And, that's going to be a problem at the end of the day. It's a problem. We need a brother as head coach. I was told no one wants to move their family for 1 year because Mike McCarthy only has 1 year to prove it, and I don't blame them. That is also true, right? When you're talking about a defensive coordinator wanting to come and be a part of a coaching staff, like, why would I come here and play under Mike McCarthy with no guarantee of him being here after this season? Like, when you fire the head coach, odds are all of his coordinators are going to get fired. Right? When you fire the head coach, odds are all of the coordinators are going to get fired. The Kellen Moore thing was an outlier. Like I said, he was drafted by the Dallas Cowboys. They promoted him from within, from a player to a quarterback's coach to an OC. You know what I mean? That shit don't happen around the league like that. So I don't really see teams guys wanting to come and play here under those circumstances. At least they haven't won 2 up to this point. Nor have the Dallas Cowboys shown a willingness to even go out there and try to recruit some of these kids. He said, I just want a new way of thinking on defense. The lack of linebacker and stopping the run really sours me on everyone except Al Harris. And remember, Al Harris publicly said on radio that anywhere that Dan Quinn goes, he would go. If Dan Quinn went to the damn Canadian League, he said he would follow him. So that's love and dedication right there. He's tied in. He's locked in with Dan Quinn. So if Dan Quinn leaves, you also lose Al Harris. So that's one thing to think about. And honestly, man, I think losing Al Harris will be a bigger blow than overall losing Dan Quinn, because Al Harris is the one that's been hands-on with the defensive backs, and the defensive back room is the one that has flourished. Trayvon Diggs became an all-pro, with the help of Al Harris' tutelage. DeRon Bland became an all-pro with the help of Al Harris' tutelage. And then you go back to Marcus Peters when he was with Al Harris in Kansas City, and you seen the production and the turnovers and all the accolades that he got under his tutelage. So Al Harris has a track record of getting the most out of these corners and helping them become ball hawks and good pros, man. And that's not really something I think can be duplicated with somebody else. I think with the overall talent that we have right now, I think there's a couple of defensive coordinators that can come in and give us similar results, maybe even be better in some regards, like run defense and scoring defense, right? They might have some sets and packages that might work out better for us. They might have some principles that work out better for us in that regards, right? But if you lose Al Harris, I don't know if the next defensive back coach will come in and have the same impact on these young and up-and-coming corners as he would. I don't know if the next defensive coach can help a 5th round pick become an All-Pro in 2 years. I don't know if the next defensive back coach can come in and get the kind of uptick from the players that he's done since he's been here. Lunar Love, you said a mouthful right there. You said linebacker lives matter. We need to put that shit on a shirt. We need to put that shit on a shirt and push it. Matter of fact, y'all give me 2 seconds. West Coast is supposed to join in with me, and I have not seen this man yet. So let me call this man and see what's going on. Yeah, I seen that too. I had shared tweeted one of his tweets with I put the eyes on it. I'm trying to see what's going on. Yeah, the front office sucks. At least they suck in regards for free agency, right? I don't think anybody likes that they go garbage being shopping in free agency. You know, I will give them credit for some of the draft moves that they make. But in regards to being aggressive and going to get available free agents that aren't overly priced, they don't do it. You could have had Bobby Wagner in a Dallas Cowboys uniform, and you refused to do it. You could have traded for Roquan Smith when he was available, and you didn't want to do it. They do not be as aggressive as they need to be. They get competent, and then when they get competent, they get complacent. And I don't like that. What's up with your JVB boy? Thank you for tapping in and showing love to the liquor store, man. Hey, everybody just now sliding in, man. Don't do your boy dirty, man. Make sure y'all hit that like button on the way into the liquor store. Make sure y'all hit that share button on the way into the liquor store. Make sure you slap the dog shit out that Eagles fan on the way into the liquor store. And you want to help keep the lights on, make sure you hit that cash up or that super chat in the liquor store, man. But thank y'all for the love and support, man. We 63 deep in here, man. Let's keep rocking. So that's why the all-in statement, I don't believe it. Yeah, what is all in to the front office? Right? When you say all in, that's a blanket statement. Right? When you say all in, what did that actually entail? Because I'm pretty sure my definition of all in might differ from their definition of all in. Because when you actually read the quote, it actually sounds like the shit they always do. Like they always sign free agents with names that are over the hill, right? Because remember, they did trade for Stephon Gilmore, but he was 33 years old when they got him. They did trade for Brandon Cooks. He was damn near 30 when we got him. Like they did bring in, what's the linebacker name? Linebacker from the Minnesota Vikings that I was very high on. Right, he was just a little bit too old in the tooth by the time he came over to Dallas and played for us. You know what I mean? So the Dallas Cowboys do sign free agents with some names to them. It just the issue is when they sign them guys, they're usually, at the tail end of their careers. Right? Yeah, Anthony Barr, thank you. Like Anthony Barr is a nice name. But Anthony Barr in 2022 was not it for the Dallas Cowboys. Stephon Gilmore is a nice name, and he did decent, but he's not the same Stephon Gilmore as when he was winning Defensive Player of the Year, right? So they do that. They will sign you a nice-ass name that's slightly over the hill and call that progress. What's up with you, Wes?
Hold on. I think they let me add my pages, bro.
It popped in. I see it. It said pair the channels. You in here?
Look at them. Let's go.
Now, Wes, we got about 20 minutes, so I'm going to start letting you cook. I'm start letting you cook. I'm gonna throw the meat on the grill. I'm just have to have you stir fry that shit, man.
Hold
So,
up, let me make sure I'm live on all platforms first. Let me make sure I'm on.
Hold on, while you looking, I'm gonna be looking to see if I see you.
Because this is something new for the 2024.
Man, yeah, you live on Facebook.
I am live. Hey, so man, they allow you now to add your pages to the. Let's go, man. So we live in Venice Beach. Let's go.
Let's get it.
So yeah, so what the subject? Listen to me. So I woke up to Dan Quinn not getting a job.
Yeah, the only way that he's gonna get a job now is if he get the Commander's job.
We are the Commanders. Listen to me. Don't nobody want to go be no damn Commander. Come on. He don't be no Commander. He don't be no Commander. He don't want to be no Commander. He don't want to be no Commander. They still to this day don't even know what Commanders are. He don't want to be no Commander.
I mean, I never asked the question, but I really don't know what the hell a commander is supposed to be outside of like maybe some military.
We are Commanders, the mighty Commanders. What's up with you, Miss Regina Green with the green? So yo, man, let me turn this light on to get this
Chris Boat, Sin City Cowboy, Ronald Camp. What's up with y'all? Thank y'all for tapping in and showing love. He said, who would hire him after the Green Bay performance? I mean, that might have hurt his stock.
I mean, let's just be real. Josh McDaniels' ass keep getting jobs. He ain't really did much himself.
I don't know. See, hey, if anything, if I could make a career change right now, it would probably be to be an NFL coach. Because no matter how many times you F up, it seems like you always get a job somewhere.
But you're not white, so I don't know, bro.
You might be right.
Hey, listen to me. I'm Mr. AKA Let's Get Canceled, but damn, listen to be real, bro. You are not white. If you listen to me, they fired Lovie Smith. He got a winning record. Hell nah.
He was like 10-6 when they fired
him. Yeah, your ass. Yeah, you be talking about the liquor store and knocking fans out. Hell nah, you ain't making it. You ain't making it. He ain't about that. He ain't ready about that. He not ready for that.
Salute to Numbhead Neil for the 5-piece. He said Jerry about to sign a couple dudes named Doug Silas and Mason Riggs and call it an all-in free agent period.
He said Mason.
This man going crazy.
out of Boise State. Boise State in Michigan. He gonna sign every Michigan player you ain't never heard of.
But hey, Wes, let me ask you if you agree with this. The Dallas Cowboys have a penchant for signing people with decent names, but they never sign them when they're still the person attached to the name. Like they signed Anthony Barr. If they signed Anthony Barr in 2015, that would have been something. Signing Anthony Barr in 2022 just don't hit the same. Signing Stephon Gilmore when he's 33 just don't hit the same. Signing Brandon Cooks when he's about 30 just don't hit the same. You know,
it's like Drake, man. Drake said he had this when he grew up in the industry, he had this dream of like dating all these like super like all these women that he was in love with back in the day when he was like coming up, like Stacey Dash and all these women are like, I mean, don't get me wrong, they didn't mature like some fine wine, and they all beautiful and black women. I ain't about to knock about that area, but you know what I'm saying? Drake, you 15 years younger than some of these women. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah, he reminiscing. I feel like there'd be a lot of I think there'd be a lot of like people that like Jerry Jones was like, oh yeah, I remember I wanted back in '72, I wanted Anthony Barr. Now I got the chance to get him, and then he go get it. You know what I'm saying? Like I think he be living out some of his dreams sometimes, you know what I'm saying? And you know, I also believe that Jerry is a former football player, right? Who won a national championship. So if you ask Jerry right now, Jerry, the Cowboys, you know, if Zach Martin went down, you think you can give us 2 plays? I promise you, Jerry Jones will be like, hell yeah, I give you 2 plays. You know, he's like, let me tell you a little story. You know what I'm saying? Jerry Jones, like, he's a conqueror, bro. He doesn't believe that anybody is like, he believes that they're all warriors and conquerors, you know what I mean? And that they never diminish and that they can always, like, you know what I mean? And I love it in him because he never really gives up on someone, but sometimes you do need to move on. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you, instead of looking for Stephon Gilmore, you look for a guy that's being rated as like a Stephon Gilmore. That's what other teams are looking at. Other teams would be like, oh, Stephon Gilmore's dope. How about we go find his little brother?
I mean, and it's funny because his little brother is actually in the league.
I know. That's what I'm like. Yeah, it's a lot of little. Listen to me. The NFL is this is a crazy time for the NFL. You know why? Because this is one time in the world where I would say I know more people in the NFL, and there's a lot of sons and cousins in the NFL right now. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, think about all the people, like all the Cowboys players that we've come in contact with. Imagine they're gonna have cousins and brothers and stuff like that will know. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I mean, hell, look at Christian McCaffrey. His daddy was an all-pro wide receiver, 3-time Super Bowl champion, and he might not even be the best player in his family.
Yeah.
It's funny when you think about it like that. But man,
who would you think is the best athlete in his family?
Right now, at the current rate, it might be Christian.
Yeah. Who behind him?
Christian McCaffrey, then his daddy in the family. His brother ain't made it in yet.
Where's his brother at?
His brother, let me see. I think his brother is at Stanford or some shit.
His brother a running back?
I think so. Matter of fact, I think he might be a receiver. Yeah, I think the boys are a receiver.
I mean, yeah, man. And I'm gonna tell you, man, Chris McCaffrey, their family got that quick. They got that quick twitch. Like some people's families are just born with that quick twitch. Like they have that. You know what I'm saying? Like they have that to something that their daddy. And more than importantly, I'm gonna tell you what Christian McCaffrey have. The family have. They have Ed McCaffrey's work ethic. You know what I'm saying? Like Ed McCaffrey was one of the better. Like he was like a freaking wide receiver that was really, really good in the league that everybody had respect for, but the media and stuff didn't really give him a lot of notoriety for what he did. But the players had a lot of respect for him.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah, like he was a dog, man.
Like he was a dog. Like hey, I'm gonna tell you, like Ed McCaffrey was one of those guys. Like Ed McCaffrey is on my list of players that I watched play as a kid that wished that I was on, and I wished he was on my team.
Like he was good.
Like his dad is definitely on my list of players who I always wanted to Cowboys. Like I'll be watching him play and be like, damn, why the Cowboys can't have a guy like him? You know what I'm saying? Like that one, and he was white. You know what I'm saying? That one was nice.
Man, hell yeah. Like for real,
Denver Broncos, right? Like I don't even remember how good they were, but I remember him. The only people I remember from them was John Elway, him, and Terrell Davis.
I'm going to also say Shannon Sharp.
I remember Shannon, but I remember Shannon more from Baltimore. Don't get me wrong, he won a Super Bowl. He won Super Bowls in Denver, but I remember Shannon Sharp personally more from Baltimore.
I got you. Yo, Joe, what's up with you? He said Brandon said it's echoing.
He said what?
Brandon said it's echoing.
It's always gonna echo, man. As long as you can hear me. The reason being is because I'm talking and it's hearing myself twice. I gotta put some headphones in. But I'm about to buy a desk today. A computer desk is the only thing that's stopping me from having my computer back up. And I will have it up before this Sunday show with everybody. I'm not gonna do that again. That was way too many people on there for me to be you know what I mean? So yeah, I will. I literally tell my guys, man, buy a computer desk and I will take yours. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. Man, so I got a question for you, man. I think we might have touched on it slightly, but what do you think the front office definition of all in is? Because I think it's different than ours.
I honestly, I don't really think the Cowboys definition of all in is this year. Like, I don't think, like, you're not gonna tell me the Cowboys weren't all in their mind last year. If they were, I'm about to hang up my freaking star right now, bro. Like, you're gonna be like, let me assume you guys were all in, but y'all better not come out and say we were not. No, we were not all in last year, West Coast. Remember, I was.
Man,
I still paid for them tickets, bro.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So I mean, I would like to think that they're all in would look like they're all in every year. I don't think it's going to be any different, to be honest with you. I think the Cowboys are all in every year, just in their degree. I mean, they're, you know what I mean?
And that's the thing I want to get across to people. Because when we think about all in, we're thinking about trading away first round picks and getting star players. Just doing all the stuff, swinging for the fences, and just worrying about the future later. I think the most Dallas Cowboys fans would consider that being all in, and I just don't think that's what the Dallas Cowboys front office agrees with all in to be. You know what I mean?
I don't even think we need all that too. Like, I don't think the Cowboys are a team that have to do that. And honestly, a lot of teams don't be all in; they be desperate, bro. Like the Rams, when they went and got Stafford, they weren't all in, but they were desperate, bro. What they're basically all in means we're tired of not being talked about because the Cowboys are already all in, bro. You're not all in losing the first round of the playoffs, bro. Like you're not. You gotta be. It is. Listen to me. I know Cowboy fans don't think about it, but there are teams that don't make the playoffs. So you gotta be all in just to get where we are. You can't just be half-assing it, just be, we're gonna play good today and we're gonna play bad tomorrow. No, bro. You gotta be. We was all in. Listen to me. We're the only team outside the Chiefs, and I think Tampa Bay maybe that has been to the playoffs 3 years in a row.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Like, I'm just being honest with you. I know some of y'all, it's been 30 years. Man, shut up. Nobody give a damn about it being 30 years. What y'all thought you was going to win the Super Bowl every year? Can I ask you a question, Cowboy fans? And I just want to ask you guys, and you ain't got to answer this question now. But I want to know, Cowboy fans, are we really expecting to win the Super Bowl every year?
I want to compete for a Super Bowl every year.
Because listen to me. Because Cowboy fans, y'all know if we win it this year and you don't win it the next year, you're going to feel the exact same way. Y'all know that, right?
I will say this.
Because think about this. The Eagles hadn't won a Super Bowl in 70 years. They won one, and guess what? It's right back to like they never won one before. So listen to me. Action Pal says, yeah, I'm expecting to win it every year. Well, that's not realistic. That's not a realistic expectation. That's not in the NFL. It's hard. And listen to me. Going back to back is not even realistic. We about to have our first back-to-back champion since what? The Patriots? And since we did it?
I believe.
Didn't Tom have a back-to-back?
I think the Patriots went back-to-back before.
And then we went back-to-back.
Yeah. But I would say this, I do want the Dallas Cowboys to be more cognitive of when there are issues on the roster to actually go out there and take care of it. Like you say so yourself, the Dallas Cowboy roster after training camp is just the roster that we have. Like we could have glaring holes at linebacker, glaring holes at running back, and we do the bare minimum to try and go fix that. So that would be my only real critique is that they don't do enough to put us in position to have success in the postseason.
Yeah, Rams didn't win a Super Bowl back to back. Did they win a Super Bowl back to back?
I think they went back to back.
They went back to back, but they didn't win back to back.
Yeah. Seattle also went to the Super Bowl back to back years. They just didn't win.
Yeah, but they didn't win. Seattle lost that year. They threw the ball.
Mm-hmm. So yeah,
you know what I'm saying? 30 years is too long for a franchise with the most money. No, it isn't, because listen to me, the Cowboys don't have the most money. The salary cap makes it so that we all have the same amount of money to spend. So we got to kill that notion. There's a notion that the Dallas Cowboys can just buy everything. No, Jerry Jones has more money, but the Dallas Cowboys bank account has the same amount of money that everybody else, because you got to remember, they have what's called a salary cap. So Jerry Jones can be a billionaire and have all the money in the world, but he is only limited to using the same amount of money that all 32 teams will be able to use. So we got to kill that nonsense. We got to kill that nonsense. Jerry got more money than everybody. We should be able to spend. This is not the 80s anymore. This is not the 90s. We have what's called a salary cap now. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who makes the most money. You all have a limit to how much you can actually spend.
I mean, yeah, they have a limit to what you actually spend, but I also don't think the Dallas Cowboys do enough with the resources.
Yeah, but that's on the Cowboys.
And I agree, and I'm just critiquing the front office and how they do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, the money is the money. But, you know, like, you can make it work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
I mean, you got to figure like this. You give to a 30-year-old. You give $230 to an 80-year-old. That 80-year-old probably make that $230 last for 5 months. You know what I'm saying?
Shit, we sit on that mug all
Next week. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta put. Hey, I feel that, but I just feel like they need to be a little bit more aggressive in the key positions that we can't get in the draft. I think they're too comfortable trying to fill the roster out with young guys when there are premium positions that you're trying to compete right now. You need a veteran presence. Like I think we all agree that we will all want a veteran middle linebacker, a veteran defensive tackle. Most of the times you want a veteran kicker. Unless they are a prodigy or some shit, like you want veteran players at key positions if you're trying to compete now. You especially don't want no young ass quarterback if you're trying to compete for a Super Bowl the same damn year. You know what I mean? So like there are like premium positions that you need grown ass men at, and a lot of times they still send children out there to do a grown man job.
Yeah, I mean, my thing is this. Everybody can tell me why we're losing and why we're not doing this. Can anybody tell me why we've been in the playoffs in the last 3 years? Why you've had one of the better teams over the last 3 years? It has to do with those same exact people that you don't like. So, I mean, we got to stop with, like, honestly, like, I'm on this mission for fans to see something positive in Jerry Jones. I'm going to tell you, y'all absolutely love Jerry Jones. Is literally like the quintessential, like, good guy, bad guy in most folks' mind because you guys love the hell out of him in the regular season. And it's like Jerry becomes the biggest villain in the offseason and the postseason. And it's crazy because what y'all don't understand is them same people that you don't like is them same people that get you to 12 games so that you can actually compete to even lose in the playoffs. I just think the Cowboy Nation, we go through this process of like, we'll take anybody to then we get to the point where we're like, we want specifically them. You know what I'm saying? West Coast doesn't move off his spot. No way to convince him otherwise. He's a man of principle. Salute. Listen to me. I do actually move off my spot. I appreciate the comment, but I do actually move off my spot and off of things if it's factual. If you have a fact that supersedes my fact, or if you have a fact that is newer than my fact, that means it cancels out my fact, then I will go with yours. I am not a stubborn person by any means. I am not a stubborn person by any means. By any means, I am not stubborn. You know what I'm saying? I just don't also go with the crowd. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I also believe in truth, but no matter what. Like that's my philosophy. Like I believe in truth no matter what. And I also believe that sometimes you just gotta be John the Baptist. Sometimes it's your job to just tell the gospel. It's not your job to be Jesus. Meaning this. It's just my job to tell y'all that Tony Pollard is not good. It's not my job to go find his replacement. That's Jerry Jones' job. You know what I'm saying? So he said, sorry, West Coast, I don't agree. These years of winning 12 games without winning a Super Bowl is enough for me. Joe, go sit on your hands. Go sit on your hands. I'm going to ask you a question, Joe. How do you even get to a Super Bowl without 12 wins? See, you guys want one without the other. Like, you guys just want to skip the regular season and go right into the playoffs.
I don't believe anybody. I don't believe anybody is saying that the 12-5 is not enough in terms of the regular season.
He's just saying that. What is you talking about?
No, that's not what I read. He's saying 12. He's saying 12-5 is not enough for him. He wants the postseason stuff as well. So
and I'm telling him that way of thinking is incorrect because if you do not go 12-5, you can't even get into the playoffs. So man, listen.
You could be 11-6 and still go first.
Yes,
just like
if we were 11-6 this year, we would not. If we were 11-6 this year, we would not have been playing in Dallas. We would not have been.
We would have still played in Dallas because the Eagles lost. The Eagles finished 11-6. We didn't even need to win the game.
They weren't in Dallas.
Yeah, they weren't in Dallas. We would have still played in Dallas because of the tiebreaker. I'm saying we could have won the division at 11-6 because the Eagles finished 11-6. We had the tiebreakers.
But either way, what he's saying is the winning record. You know what I'm saying? And Joe, slap yourself talking about, oh yeah. So you would have been okay with 11-6, Joe. So what you're saying?
He would have been okay with 11-6 and playoff wins.
Joe is here. Let Joe. We have 7 months of free content we can do. Joe, explain yourself in the comment box. Because it's right there. Explain yourself. Explain yourself in the comment box. Because listen to me. This is what I was saying like this. If you 3 years of 3, you have to I'm not about to allow Cowboy fans to just be like, no, there's no appreciation for the last 3 years. We did something absolutely impossible that most teams can't even do.
I got you. No,
he says West Coast conforms with regular season. He says, no, I'm not actually conformed with regular season. But what I also know is a lot of y'all don't even tune into the Cowboys into the playoffs, bro.
It's going deep.
So, and I'm gonna just be real with you guys. I told y'all after the Philadelphia game, the Cowboys weren't no Super Bowl team. It was y'all goofy ass that was out here talking about y'all was gonna go deep in the playoffs without a linebacker and a running back. That ain't my fault. Like, that is not my fault. The standard in Dallas is 12-5. Now, listen to me. The standard in Dallas is not even having a middle linebacker or a running back. So, what were you guys? My question is this: why did you believe this was a Super Bowl team? Without a middle linebacker and without a starting running back, why did you believe this was a Super Bowl team?
All right, well, I love you, baby.
No, I'm not happy with 12-5, but I'm going to ask you guys, why did you even believe that? Why did you believe that this team without a starting running back and a starting middle linebacker was a pro and playoff team? Why did you believe that?
Hold on, then. Let me ask you this then. Is that not culpability on Jerry Jones then, since he's the general manager? Like, he signed Tony Pollard to that, and he's the one that.
Bro, if that's the case, then I'm gonna be honest with you. If that's the case, every owner in the NFL is trash. Because guess what?
Not every owner is the general manager.
Bro, listen to me. I'm gonna tell you this.
Jerry Jones is the general manager. That's his job.
He is the general manager, but every single owner signs off on every single deal that happens for their team. So every owner is responsible for every deal. There is not one owner. Listen to me. Let's just be real. GMs are like your older son in your house. They're like your older son in your house. And you know what your older son does? He makes agreements. He goes back and forth, but it's still daddy that's making that's still putting the no and letting you know what's gonna happen.
Okay, and with that said, every house is ran differently. Like, you might go to somebody else.
Run differently, but guess what? Every team still has to sign off. But guess what?
Okay,
every owner is still required to sign off on players. So you're not getting around that.
That doesn't matter. Listen, you cannot be the general manager and dodge culpability when things don't work out. I'm sorry.
But every team does that. Every team is firing their general managers. What are you talking
about? He's not gonna fire himself though, my boy. He's not gonna fire himself.
Well, why would you fire yourself, bro?
If you're not doing a good enough job.
No, bro. I would not fire. Dude, listen to me. Why would you fire yourself? You don't believe in spending money. You listen to me. Listen to what I'm saying. You are a team that spends no money but get the same results and standards as a team that spends a lot of money.
We don't get the same results and standards. We don't get the same results and standards. You can't piss on me and tell me it's raining. You can't do 40 damn shows on the damn radio and tell me this is a Super Bowl championship team and then try to sell me on 12 wins. You can't.
I'm not trying to sell you.
I'm talking about Jerry Jones, folks. I'm talking about Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones does a damn talk show every damn week and talks about.
Bro, every team does that, man.
Jerry Jones do not. Nigga, tell me what Kraft. Show me Kraft show. Show me Robert Kraft show and I'll shut the fuck up.
Bro, Robert Kraft just got caught in a scandal. Fucking.
What they gotta do with a radio show?
Bro, come on.
All right, cuz I gotta go in the goddamn way. I gotta go back to work.
Bro, okay.
I gotta go back to work. Let them know where they can find you, man.
I'm gonna tell you this right now. Whenever I'm on shows, I'm done talking about Jerry Jones because it's such a touchy feeling and it's such a low-hanging fruit crap. Like, bro,
it's not really low-hanging fruit when you're the damn general manager. What they gotta do with him?
They
ain't got nothing to do with football. They ain't got nothing to do with football, folks. They ain't got nothing to do with the damn team. They ain't got nothing. Jerry Jones got holes and scandals too.
Like, what is y'all talking about?
So what are we?
Everything is Jerry Jones.
They ain't got shit to do with anything, folks. You just went left field with that one, because they ain't had nothing to do with the hell I was talking about.
No, I didn't. You talking about character?
All right, cuz. I didn't talk about no damn character. The word character ain't come out my mouth.
All right, you're right. It's all good. This is a losing matter. I'm not doing losing matters anymore. It's all good. It's a losing matter. Because you know why? Because this is a low-hanging fruit because everybody's mad at Jerry Jones. So yes,
nobody is mad at Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones just all right. It's okay for him not to do his job. You're right. God bless everybody, man. I'm gonna holler at y'all.